When I told Carina the reason why I knew you, she made a comment, "Oh, I didn't know you would go for that kind of caliber."
Saying someone's in a different caliber to you, you're essentially saying you're better than them. I would love to know what makes you better than my twin sister.
Partner swap was always going to be messy. You can tell who was sort of coupled up because of the mess and who was coupled up because they really wanted that person to grow. I think Elliot, they want him to grow. This is why they gave him Rhi. And Carina's theatrics, there was no need for that. There was really no need for that. I think there was a reason why she was avoiding going. I think she was worried that Paul might reveal a thing or two about herself. And sadly for her, Paul has opened the door for us to realize that maybe Carina and Lauren are birds of a feather, and that's why they try and flock together. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Married at First Sight Australia, Season 12, Episode 26. Another episode of Mafs, What Could Go Wrong? So it's a new week. Everybody's reflecting or reminiscing over the, last commitment ceremony and the fact that we have Clint and Lauren leave. Is anyone upset that they left? I don't think so. I think everybody's pleased that they've gone. Besides, they said they wanted to leave the jungle, for which they have. You have Jamie sitting with Dave, and she's just talking about, she feels bad. She's still very remorseful. She feels bad about the things that came out of her mouth, the things that she said that hurt people. She understands that that most times when she's hurt, she comes from a very hurt place. And if you hurt her, she wants to hurt you 10 times as bad. So she's remorseful about that. She wishes she hasn't done that, because that sort of took away from their experience at the couples retreat, which is the truth. They seem to be having an amazing time as a couple, but sadly, this overshadowed everything else. There is the discussion about the I love yous. Jamie has told Dave that she loves him. Jamie has gone all out. She's been as genuine as possible to this man. And so the idea that he is saying it takes him a bit longer to sort of fall in love with someone, it's like, what else does he want? He says she makes him feel heard. She makes him feel seen. What more does he want from her in order for him to realize whether or not he loves her? Is it production sort of saying you can't say you love her, it's too early, we can't have the two of you say you love each other, and then that's the end of your story, because there's nothing else to discuss about their story or their journey thus far outside of the incident that happened at the couples retreat. Their love story has just been two people that really like one another, and so if they get to I love you, then what's next for them? So I have a feeling production are sort of slow walking the I love yous so that they have enough sort of material on the two of them. You have Rhi and Jeff. Jeff obviously talked about, he's on his way to falling in love with Rhi. Rhi, on her part, apparently they hadn't discussed it. So they're giddy and they're excited that it was brought up by the experts, which allowed them to discuss it in a safe environment. So they're another couple that I could possibly see falling in love. And I want this for them because they have been working very well. We're yet to see any faults, even in the incident that happened with Jamie. One thing I liked about Rhi as well was she was genuine. She was true. She called out both parties. She just didn't stick to calling out one person. She called out both parties. She called out Lauren, even though Lauren didn't want to hear it. And she also called out her friend Jamie. And when she realized that she had upset someone, she apologized profusely. That I love. Apparently, she's been on, I don't know, there's TikTok or Instagram where Rhi has written a statement after watching the show, but I don't follow her on either. So I haven't had a chance to look into it, and I might go and look at it at some point. But they really seem cute. They really seem happy with Jeff, so I love this for them. You have Carina saying that, she is happy that they were able to address the issues with Jamie, and she's at peace, and she's happy that that is now over and done with. And it's like, I don't think so. I think Carina was expecting to milk this until the very end. I don't think she expected her to apologize. And Jamie apologizing took the rug out of under their feet, because outside of the punching of the door and the issue with Jamie, there's nothing to give them a storyline to discuss when they leave the show. So I have a feeling that if Carina had her way, she didn't want Jamie to apologize because she wanted to continue to moan about it. And now that Jamie's apologized, how do you moan about something where someone has already expressed that they're remorseful and they sincerely apologize for their bad behavior? I'm side-eyeing it though, because at the end of the day, in that same instance, she should have still spoken to Paul, or if Paul was being a true partner, you should have said to her, now that Jamie has apologized to you, don't you think you deserve to apologize to her? because she feels like you didn't hear her, you didn't support her. Maybe it might be worth you apologizing to Jamie, because I'm yet to see the apology from Carina the other way. I've seen Jamie's apology to Carina, but I haven't seen it the other way, and I'm surprised the experts didn't ask for it. So another week comes with new challenges. Last week was couples retreat. This week is partner swap week, and everybody gets to find out who they'll be swapping with, and everybody across the board seems to receive it very well, apart from Carina. So I'm side-eyeing Carina. Anyway, Paul is recoupling with Awhina, Adrian is recoupling with Jamie, Jeff is with Jackie, Dave is with Veronica, Ryan is with Beth, TJ is with Carina, and Elliot is with Rhi. Personally, it doesn't make sense. I understand the fact that Paul and Awhina, apparently Paul dated Awhina's sister, so that makes sense that they want the drama there. Adrian and Jamie, I think it's because they got along very well when they were going against Elliot and Clint, so this is why they've been coupled up. Jeff and Jackie, I think it's because of the whole situation where Jackie texted him and said, "Don't tell your wife." I think that's why they've been coupled up. Dave and Veronica don't make sense to me. Ryan and Beth as well don't. Oh yeah, they had the incident where she used the vulgar language, so that makes sense. Carina and TJ and Elliot and Rhi don't make sense. Some of the couples, they make sense because the producers want drama, so it makes sense. Everybody is just receptive. You have poor Jeff is already rocking himself because he has to deal with Jackie, and so he doesn't know how he's going to cope with that. On his part, Ryan is happy to be with Beth, although there's the situation that, he hopes she doesn't use vulgar language. You have, the main situation, I think, is, you have Rhi is fine with sharing with Elliot. I think she's just empathizing with poor Jeff that, he's going to have to deal with Jackie and how he's going to cope with that. And then you have this fallout, happen between Elliot and Veronica. And I'm side-eyeing Veronica. I really am. So it makes me question, did she actually forgive, her husband, or was she just saying that for the cameras? Because they have this fallout which doesn't make sense. Because you have Veronica say to Elliot, "Oh, now that you're going to be coupled up with, with Rhi, I wonder whether you're going to be reading as much as you normally do with me." And it's like, he's reading to increase his knowledge. He's not messing about on his Xbox or something. So I don't get why she was upset with that. And he said, I hope, Dave is able to cope with you. And suddenly she was upset. "Oh, you always say negative things about me. You never say positive things about me." And it's like, why are these women working so hard to make Elliot appear the good guy? We all know how Elliot treated his wife, irregardless of her faults, his first wife, Lauren. So the idea that you have Veronica sort of going down the same road makes you question, is it the wives that are the problem, or is it the husband? Which is it? She then gets upset, she packs her bags and is ready to go. And it's like, oh, poor Veronica. You have Awhina and Adrian and Carina and Paul. That situation doesn't make sense to me, because you have Carina losing her marbles because she's upset that, how dare this man, be sharing an apartment with Awhina because he dated Awhina's sister. And apparently it wasn't anything serious. It was just a hookup. And Awhina on her part doesn't care. She said she speaks to her sister 3-4 times a day, and she's already told her sister that she's become very good friends with Paul. So she's okay with sharing an apartment with Paul. And then the audacity. You have Carina talk about the fact that, she was raised Catholic, so she has a lot of conservative values. She places a lot of emphasis on marriage and the fact that, one man, one wife, and, you shouldn't be swapping partners. So this goes against her values. And it's like, madam, you're the same person whose husband punched the door because you told him you slept with a rapper. So your Catholic values are sort of selective when they are applied. When you're sleeping with rappers and you're bragging about sleeping with rappers, then the Catholic values go out the window. But when you've been asked to go on a partner swap, for you to say, "I don't want him to share a bed with her, I don't want him to be in the shower and she's in the next room," and it's like, what are you trying to say? Are you trying to make it seem as though Awhina is going to pounce onto your man the moment you walk out the room? Is that what you're trying to say? Because what has she done or said that makes you believe that she's after your husband? We are all confused. I don't get it. I don't know whether I'm the only one. And then for Paul to say in his confessional, "I don't mind sharing a room with Cleo," and it's like, oh my God, he's calling Awhina by her sister's name. It's going to be a bit oaks galore when his wife sees this. he's trying to console her. She's crying. I think, I'm going to say this. I think Carina, we're actually about to see her side that has been hidden in the first half of the show, whereby they've been editing her as an amazing person. I think her drama queen sort of mentality or behavior and sort of some of her negative tendencies or comments that she makes are going to be shown, and it's starting to seem as though she and Lauren might be more kindred spirits than we actually believed, because of the fact that she's accusing someone of being after her husband when that person hasn't even shown any interest. So when you have, you know, poor Awhina, she knocks on the door to say, I'm here. I think production must have told her, let's go, or they must have given Paul and, you know, Carina the letter last. So she walks in and this woman is crying and she doesn't understand. So she has to console her to say, you know, what's going on? I'm so sorry. I have no idea. And, oh, it's just, I don't agree with this. It goes against my values. What values, ma'am? What values? You are on a dating show with a stranger or someone you've dated in real life. These marriages are not legal. And we already know you're sleeping with him because you confirmed it. So where were your values then? Where were your values when you're sleeping with this man that you're not married to? Where were your values when you're sleeping with a rapper and then bragging about it on a dating show? Please, can you keep it stepping? She moves out because, you know, Awhina has moved in. And before she moves out, she tells, you know, Paul, I don't want you sharing a bed with her. And it's like, seriously, it's not that deep. Maybe your husband is actually going to be the problem because he is now talking about his ex. Awhina hasn't done or said anything that sort of implies that she looks at your husband in a romantic sense. Even Awhina said, oh, Adrian and I are looking at this as a holiday. You two seem to have taken it more seriously than we have. We just thought, oh, it's a holiday. See you later. Bye. And so you have Carina move into a separate apartment. She doesn't go straight to TJ because apparently she's struggling to cope with this. This goes against her values and her beliefs. Mom, please, I'm side-eyeing you. I am side-eyeing you because I'm not buying that that's the reason why. I think she's used to controlling her husband, or there's a narrative that they've been setting. And the idea that they can't sort of continue on that narrative because somebody else is stepping in is the reason why she's upset. It's interesting how the husbands treated the women when they they knew wives when they arrived, because Dave was very, he comes across as easygoing and he made Veronica feel so comfortable. And she even said that she feels very comfortable and she appreciates the fact that he's very welcoming. She was worried about Jamie because she doesn't know where she stands with Jamie. They were good with Jamie until she opened her mouth at the dinner party and then things went left, because had she stayed out of that business, then she would have been good friends with Jamie. But apparently she decided to put her 2 pence into something that had nothing to do with her, whether she was looking for storyline or whether she just wanted to be a part of the mix. I don't even get it. So that was very nice. Beth wasn't happy with the partner swap, so she took her sweet time to pack her bags because she realized that she was going to be with Ryan and Jackie. And they have this history whereby she made the very insensitive remark about Ryan and Jackie when she spoke about him, wasting his energy on pumping iron instead of, on her and stuff. So Ryan is already defensive because he knows they have that history. She is coming in. She feels uncomfortable because they had a run-in with Ryan. When she walks in, she sees the picture shrine because, they take a lot of pictures. And she's actually pleasantly surprised that they are cuddly, touchy-feely around each other, because apparently that's not how they present at the dinner parties. And I think with Jackie, everything is aesthetic. Everything has to be aesthetically appeasing, and it has to be research-based. So what she's read and what she's understood about a relationship, about love, that's what she expects to play out. So it's a totally different insight into their relationship, walking into their apartment, and Beth is sort of questioning what is going on here, because this is totally different to what I see when I'm around them at the dinner parties. Well, Jackie made Ryan tell Beth that, they were having a swear jar to sort of try and call out Beth on her swearing. It seems Beth swears a lot. I think swearing to her is like saying good morning, and she swears at that point, and it's like, oh my God, what a hot mess. This is going to be interesting. And Jackie packs her stuff to go to Jeff, and Jeff is sort of nervous because he doesn't know what's going to happen with Jackie when she arrives. She arrives with a mountain of bags. I don't know why she just didn't take a suitcase. She had about 4 or 5 bags. And then she showed him a dress that she said she wanted him to steam iron. I don't know whether he's got a thing for steam ironing stuff or whether that's an inside joke. So it was nice to see them relax and be comfortable. And they spoke about their dinner. And you had Jeff sort of telling her that he was going to make her, some salmon. And she said she had already brought her own food, so she was good. Rhi moved in with Elliot. And the thing with Rhi is very easygoing. Jeff is very easygoing. And I think this is one of the things that they get along on. So you have Elliot trying to make a very good impression. He bought fruits for her. Because she's into healthy eating, he's trying to put his best foot forward because he's trying to see how much he can learn from his time with Rhi. I think if he had this way, or if he had the ability to choose who he was coupled with, it seems he's really keen on Rhi. It seems he really wants to impress her. He wants to make the best impression. I don't know whether it's because she's Lauren's friend or whether it's just him trying to appease her because he really likes her as a person or needs someone to speak highly of him since his time on the experiment has been saddled with a lot of mishaps. So with everybody settled into their new apartments, we still haven't seen Carina and TJ meet up. So I don't know what's happening over there. But with everybody having settled in, they received letters for a task. So they're supposed to write some very hard-hitting questions that they want to ask about their connection or about their relationship with their partner. And first to go are Elliot and Rhi. And the way Elliot is so infatuated with Rhi, I'm going to say that. If after the show they date, then I know he was already smitten by her. So the first question is Rhi asking Elliot, can you see our relationship working past the experience or fizzling out, meaning her relationship with Jeff? And you have Elliot say the two of you have learned quite a lot in your second go round. And I think this has allowed you both, because the first time you met, you were both coming out of relationships. So it seemed like a rebound. Whereas now you've had a lot of time to spend together to get to know one another, to get to ask each other the questions and learn from one another. So if you can continue to grow and you can continue to work on that, I don't see any problem with the two of you growing as a couple. That was cute. Really liked that. And then Elliot's question was, based on your conversations with Veronica, what is her opinion of me? And you have Rhi say, well, she's worried about your lack of eye contact. When she walks into a room, you don't look at her. And also you are closed off. And what she wants is more openness. She wants to know the person she's in a couple with. She wants to dig deeper. And this was good for Elliot because I said it before and I'll say it again. I don't believe Elliot and Lauren should have been brought back this season. I think they should have waited a couple of seasons, healed from whatever they went through, and then moved on to the next season. So I think part of it is Elliot in self-preservation mode, in the sense that he doesn't want to open himself up to somebody else only for there to be rejection or only for things not to work out. His next question is, do you think Veronica and I are a good match? You have Rhi say that the problem with them, I think the problem with Veronica, I'm going to say this. I know Rhi said, they need to find a middle ground. They need to work in the middle ground and they'll be a better couple than what they are now. But personally, what I feel is the problem with Elliot and Veronica is Elliot, when he came in the first time, things didn't work out. His reputation from that followed him into his next marriage, whether he wanted to or not. The conversation that Lauren had with Veronica didn't help things. And so Veronica is coming from a place of anger. The fact that he disrespected his ex-wife at the first dinner party, the fact that he was married to someone and she heard all these nasty things about him. So all that is sitting on her. And this is the reason why, in my opinion, unless she can step out from whatever she's heard about Elliot or whatever she's experienced about Elliot and sort of be open to learning who this man is outside of the outside noise, then they'll continue to struggle. So she needs to silence all the noise. She needs to get rid of the information that she was given by Lauren, because she's seen that Lauren is not always the best person, and try and look at this man for who he is. He will show himself whether he's a good man or not. Next, we have Dave and Veronica. They are having conversations as well. Veronica asks, do you think Elliot and I are emotionally compatible? And you have Dave say there is sort of this disconnect and lack of transparency, which is the same thing that Rhi has, or more or less the same thing that Rhi has picked up on. And I love that Dave was actually able to explain it fully, in the sense that he told her he came in, he was matched with someone, he worked hard on that relationship didn't pan out as expected, and then he was coupled up with you. So you have to understand that he might be in self-preservation mode, he might not be open to sort of divulging a lot about himself, just in case the same thing happens, which made sense. The next one is Elliot's your type. And you have this woman say, I would prefer Dave or Jeff because they are more considerate of their partners. And it's like, oh, she wants Jamie's smoke and she wants Rhi to step out of her skin and embody this other totally new character, because what made her think that was a good idea? You've already had Rhi have issues with Jackie for texting her man. So the idea that you have this woman think it's a good idea to mention that she would prefer Jeff or Dave, I don't get it. And then I think she realized what she had done, because she said, I would be better off matched with any other man on this floor outside of Elliot. And it's like, you've already laid the groundwork. The producers are going to play this, and this is going to turn out very, very badly for you, because when these wives find out this is what you're saying, well, Jamie will be very honest. Rhi, I don't know what will happen, but Jamie, I think, is working on herself. She's a work in progress. She's not going to try and sort of show herself out, but I think at the same time, she's going to call her out. Hopefully, Dave will tell his wife that this is what she said, and Jamie will receive it for what it is, but it might be messy. It might really be messy. The princess is here. Finally, you have Carina decide to rock up to TJ. I think the producers were very sweet with her. I think they actually looked for someone they knew she got along with. I remember after the whole debacle with Jamie, after the issue, no, it was after the punching of the door, TJ was the person that went and stood with them and spoke with them. So I think this is why they wanted to make her comfortable. He was very receptive and very kind to her. He showed around their apartment. It seems they're in a studio apartment as well. So he showed around their apartment, and then he told her that, you know, there was a privacy screen. So he was going to put that up just to make her as comfortable as possible. And it's like, so why is this woman making it seem like she's going 200 miles away from her husband? She's just down the hallway. If she wants to see him, she can see him at any time. What does she think? That Awhina is going to be pouncing on her man, or that just because Awhina looks like her twin sister, her husband is going to be pouncing on him? I didn't like that unnecessary theatrics. You have Jamie and Adrian. Jamie and Adrian are two friends that I never thought I would see together. But I think they are aligned on their dislike for Lauren. I think that's what has brought them together. So they're having a gossip session, and Veronica is at the forefront. And oh my God, I hope Veronica doesn't watch this, because the way they were dragging her. But hey, she opened the door. Jamie didn't have any beef with her until she opened the door, and then Jamie stepped in. So she's her own, she's only to blame for what's happening with her now. You have Ryan and Beth there and the next lot. I think production told Ryan that you need to write questions that you want to ask this woman. I don't think those questions just came out of the blue. I don't think Ryan is that dense that he wouldn't have understood what was expected of him, that he would keep asking questions that were very provocative. The producers knew what they were doing, and this is why they set them up together. Anyway, first question is, rather than having a one-on-one session, you have listened to everyone's opinion about us, and why is that? And Beth is sort of saying that, their behavior at the reception is one of the reasons why she has this opinion about them, because at the reception, they were very disruptive at one point. And a clip is actually shown of Jackie crying and asking Ryan to hug her and tell her he loves her and stuff. So Ryan only has himself and Jackie to sort of hold to account for that. I wish he had acknowledged this, but he didn't. His next question was, it's not Jackie and I's, duty to satisfy your confusion. What do you want to know? And so, she has questions just like the rest of us, because Jackie and Ryan are always hot and cold. They're never consistent all the time. One minute they're laughing, they're crying, they're shouting, they're screaming, they're back to laughing again. So I would get why someone would be confused about them. And then you've spoken to me harshly about our relationship. What advice do you have to give that can help that? And I don't think he wanted her advice, because then he went on this tangent about her sort of trying to accuse her of making up things. And if I were this woman, I would stay out of these people's mess because I don't want their drama. They are confused.com. Even the experts themselves cannot understand them. So I think Beth needs to either mind her own business, or unless she's looking for a storyline, and so she's decided to put herself in this mix, that way the producers or she has something else to focus on outside of a relationship. So next up, we have Paul and Awhina. Paul and Awhina, well, they get to do the task where they write the questions, and all the questions seem to be directed from Paul to Awhina. His first question was, after seeing Carina's reaction today, do you think she's a jealous person? And why? And it's like, what do you think? Apparently, Awhina is friends with Carina, so she didn't understand why Carina was that upset. And I loved the fact that she gave an example that, okay, if Carina is being jealous at this point when you're in a good space, imagine when things fall apart and you're not in the best of spaces, how she's going to react. And will you have the bandwidth to deal with that, is more or less what you're saying. And personally for me, I think there was more to that story than Carina wanted to say, because it doesn't make sense why she was crying. The fact she was saying, oh, I'm Catholic, I'm this. We've never heard about your Catholic beliefs when you had this sex with this man a day or two after marrying him. We've never heard about your Catholic beliefs when you're bragging about sleeping with a rapper, and suddenly they are there. I think there was more to it. I think this is one of the reasons why she was labeling the girls as mean girls. I think she sees herself as Ed, and when she's not getting away, she throws a tantrum. So I don't know whether he'll be able to handle that. How would you navigate being in a relationship with a jealous person? And Paul is saying it would push him away. It would push him away because I don't think he liked his wife's reaction. I think he was put off by it. And it's one thing for Paul to have been set up with someone who she doesn't know. This is someone she knows, someone who she's friends with. Her jealousy only comes into light because of the fact that Awhina's twin sister Cleo had something to do with this man. And I love that Awhina was able to say, just because we're twins doesn't mean that we're going to sleep with the same man. No, we're not. So she needs to, put that to the side. Ryan and Beth are really not feeling each other. I think if they're their way, they would leave this experiment and go back to their partners, because Ryan is saying, being with Beth has made him appreciate his partner more. And Beth is upset because of the questions that Ryan asked her. And it's like, why didn't we get to hear Beth's questions? What did she say? Were her questions not as provocative, or did she say things that the producers don't want us to know about? You have Jeff, and he makes dinner for Jackie. Jackie is ecstatic. She's over the moon because he made her dinner, and then he steamed her dress, so she's over the moon because she's getting first class treatment. She says this is what she wanted from a partner, but she hasn't been receiving it from her husband. And it's like, Jackie is not going to want to go home. She's going to refuse to go back to Ryan because she's been having it good with Jeff. So I don't know how that will play out. If there's anyone who's enjoyed the first half of the partner swap, it's Jamie and Adrian, because Jamie and Adrian have used this time to talk about everybody and their mother in the experiment. They've used their time to sort of laugh at everyone and their relationships and where they stand. So you have everyone getting ready for bed. You have Veronica. She's worried that if Jamie finds out that she shared a bed with Dave, Jamie's going to lose her marbles. And Dave, well, she's sort of implying that there's plenty of room in the bed, so there's room for them to do whatever they want. And Dave said, no, there's nothing that's going to take place in this bed. Where we are is where we are. Carina is very ecstatic because she's been texting with Dave, so she's in a good space. Jamie and Adrian, they're happy. They've had a very good day one, so they're good to be going to bed. Awhina decides to sleep on the couch because Paul had offered her the couch, and she said, you're too big for the couch. I'll sleep on the couch. You sleep in the bed, because she wants to respect, Carina's request. And it's like, Carina's being a bit too much. You have Adrian and Jamie, they have a fought in between the two of them when they go to sleep. And it's like, people are really taking this seriously. How long will these pillows last? Until the cameras have gone, or what? Why can't someone just go and sleep on the couch? Or why didn't they have two beds? I think Veronica and what's his name? Elliot have a 2-bed apartment, so I'm surprised that nobody else has a 2-bed. Everybody else has a studio flat, unless it was their request to have a studio flat. That's the impression that I get. The following morning, the couples receive a letter to say you need to write an honesty letter about something that's been on your mind to your partner. And so you have Carina talk about the fact that, she's very religious and sadly, Paul is not religious. And this is something she worries about because she would like to sort of raise her children in her religion and she doesn't know how to bring it up. So TJ encourages her to have that conversation because she says, he says if you're planning a life with this man after the experience, you need to make sure that you're on the same page with everything. I'm surprised that religion is coming in now. I'm surprised that religion is coming in now. It seems as though someone is trying to sort of revamp herself because she knows she might not have got a good at it as a result of the Jamie situation. So she's decided to latch onto something because had she been talking about her religion from the day she walked in, then it would make sense. But for her to start talking about it now, I'm side-eyeing her. I really am. In Paul's letter, Paul threw her under the bus and ran over her several times. Sadly for Carina, because he said in his previous relationships, he stayed in a relationship and by the time he picked up on the red flags, it was too late. So he's trying not to make the same mistakes whereby, regardless of the fact that he can see red flags, he stays in a relationship when it's probably not ideal for him. He talks about the fact that, Carina comes across as snobbish, very judgy, and it's giving him the ick. And for me, this is the reason why I'm going to say, I know I might be wrong, but it sort of makes you understand why Carina could sort of align herself with Lauren, because Lauren came across very judgy and very snobbish. So for Carina to be pointed out for the same thing, I'm side-eyeing her. And the audacity of this man, I have a feeling before she left, or before Awhina arrived, Carina must have said or done or did something that really infuriated this man, and this is why he's revealed her secret, because he tells Awhina that, she said she questioned why I dated your sister. She felt I shouldn't be with people that are of that caliber. And I love, there's nothing like twin power, because Awhina went to war and she said the audacity of this person who lives at home with her parents, who works for her family company, to call out my sister who owns her own home, who has her own job, I think her own company or job, I don't remember. I don't get it. And it's like, this is embarrassing. This really is embarrassing. This is not a good look because of the fact that everybody's empathized with her, saying that Carina was the victim. Now to find out that Carina is just as bad as Lauren, I don't know what's going to happen, and I can't wait for tomorrow's episode when she gets to hear, Paul read out his letter. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 25. Bye guys.